panino with sopressata, mozzarella.
Yeah.
You name it, we had it. Any Italian cold-cut was there, and the paper bag was so greasy.
Make sure to hop on over to medicadomani.com for exclusive giveaways, newsletters, and news for all things Italian American.
What's going on, everybody? This is the Growing Up Italian podcast. I'm your host, Rocco, today. I got my two brothers for the first time ever. Rosario to my left, to my right. Michael, the oldest one. Wow. I mean, you guys always tell me, you know, you have a podcast, you have Growing Up Italian. Not once did you have me on an episode.
Would it take 5 years? A good 5 years.
Yeah, I've been bugging him about it. I had to.
No, but finally you guys are on after all the annoying texts and annoying things you guys tell me in person.
Mostly
But
from Rosario.
I'm surprised you guys are in here right now, especially Michael. I think it's like his second time in here, maybe.
Yeah, probably
Maybe.
my second time.
No, but it's good to have you guys in here. Have you guys see what I do outside of my full-time job, and you know, just be able to sit down, relax, and talk about what the hell we've been through growing up. You know, we have a very unique family, very, very unique, very old school, very strict.
Extremely old school. Extremely strict.
And we'll start with Mike. What was it like growing up in our household? What do you know, with our family, mom and dad being the way that they were?
It was fun. I mean, as a kid growing up, it was fun because I don't think mom and dad like ever let us like not have anything that we didn't want. I mean, they definitely taught us responsibility at a young age, but they let us, you know, any sports teams we wanted to join.
Yeah, I know.
Let us do that, no problem. The friends part was problematic.
We didn't have no friends.
Yeah.
God forbid we had somebody over the house. My God.
Forbid.
Now they know where we live.
Yeah, no.
The only people that steal from you are the people who know
Who
you.
know you live.
Oh my God, every time. But that was the hardest thing. So Mike's 2 years older than me. Rosario's 7 years younger than me. 9 years younger than Mike. So there is definitely a gap there. And I think Mike to Rosario was always like obviously my father is a father figure, but Mike was also a father figure to Rosario just because that age gap. And I see you guys have a lot of similarities. So
Yeah.
definitely a little jealous about the relationship you two have, but you're both two scungils. So two peas in a pod. So what are you going to do?
I mean,
Rosario, what's it like for you with our family? That you were babied every 2 seconds. You get away with everything.
I was definitely the spoiled one growing up, which I enjoyed very much. But it was always a little weird having just two brothers that were a lot older than me because they always did everything together. But I was fine with that. But like we were always there for each other. And I think the funnest thing that I remember growing up is when you guys we were just all wrestled with each other. And
yeah,
of
we
course,
used to beat the shit out of each other, especially him.
Remember Gladiator in Long Island?
We played Gladiator. We laid each other out in the field. I never forget. One time he got me so mad. I had a shark toy or his shark toy, and I threw it at his face, and like it chipped the whole tooth.
nice, good job.
Yeah.
My teeth are still messed up.
Yeah, hey, look at him. Those shangas.
Don't
Smile
knock
for the
my
camera. now it's in 4K. So.
All right, let's hide the teeth
Got
behind
that
the
good
mic.
quality for this.
No, but honestly, we had a very unique upbringing. Very old school Italian family, like I was saying. And I feel like you two, of the whole family, might be like, not the least attached, but like, you don't really care as much as I do for the Italian culture. I mean, I definitely, running a page with Sabino Micali called Growing Up Italian, obviously it interests you. You love the culture, but I feel like for you guys, it's like, yeah, I'm Italian, but, you know, I'm American. You know, I know definitely for him because I have coworkers that we've worked with together. And, yeah, they're like, oh, Rosario's like, yeah, I'm Italian, but, you know, whatever.
No big deal.
It's not really a big deal to me, but
So get the fuck off
there's
the podcast.
there's definitely a weird thing with that, especially just going to high school. There were a lot of Italian people there, but not really. Like there were maybe second, third generation, not first generation like me. And it was very easy to entertain them. And I'm talking about like just stupid stuff, just like mentioning just the Italian foods, pronouncing it right, like saying Nutella or something like that. They used to crack up because they think it was funny for whatever reason. But it was weird because I consider myself the least Italian person in the entire family. So just surrounding myself with people that aren't Italian but consider me like very, very Italian was very odd.
I think what he has a hard time associating is being Italian American, like that New Jersey, heavy New York.
Yeah.
Like when people say you're Italian, he's interpreting it as like a Guido.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know why you take it that way because that's not how we were raised. Like we're not raised to like, yo, why do the gabagool? Why you like? We were like, oh, un capicolo per piacere. You know, it's not. We were not those people. So
It's probably like a generational thing too.
So
I
how
mean,
was it
don't
for you?
forget-
Like in school and with
for
your
me
friends?
In school, I disagree with your comment a little bit, only because I feel like you probably show the appreciation for the culture a lot more than I do.
Fair
like I know
point.
growing up, like being Italian was like that was like a huge part of my
Yeah.
identity growing up. Like even to this day, my closest friends are all Italian. Like they may not be
By
full-blooded
choice? Or
Italian.
how does that happen?
I don't think I'm going around just picking. Are you Italian? No,
we
can't
gotta
be
do a little
friends.
deep dive on that.
I know because
so-
you went to Molloy, Queens, probably the most diverse high school in all of America.
Yeah, but I think it's just a matter of who. I don't know. Maybe I just got along with the personalities. Maybe
you're
'cause
both
that's
all
what I
loud,
was-
annoying.
Yeah, all loud and annoying. No, we're
Shout
not
out,
like
shout
that.
out, Alyssa.
This is not loud
Nah,
nor
I'm
annoying.
kidding. Alyssa's awesome.
Don't get him in trouble,
So,
man.
I know, right? She's gonna be like,
Congratulations, Alyssa. She just got
yeah,
engaged,
she
right?
just got engaged. Her and her now fiance. So congratulations to them, her and Chris. But yeah, like all my friends are partially Italian. I don't think anyone is fully Italian the way, you know, mom and dad are both from Italy. Like
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
definitely, there's mix of Irish, German, Puerto Rican. So they have a mix. But for me, being Italian was like the greatest thing because I think growing up and going to Catholic school, there really wasn't a lot of Italian kids in our school.
Yeah,
In elementary school. So it was like, I think the family, like we were the Italians
yeah, that's
of
true.
the school because we really didn't have that many Italians. So I think
I'll never forget in school, you and me both, definitely. I don't know about Rosario, maybe, but when it's lunchtime at St. Cecilia's and we had the paper bag with grease in it, and we would have like a sandwich, un panino with sopressata, mozzarella,
yeah.
you name it, we had it. Any Italian coca was there, and the paper bag was so greasy. And I used to get made fun of, like, yo, what does that smell? Like,
Yeah.
ew, like, what do Italians eat? And I'm like, yo, if only you could try this sandwich, you would know how good this, how bomb this is.
I just want to butt in real quick because I had the opposite experience with that. Where whenever I bought a sandwich that mom or dad used to make me, people were like, "Oh, what is that? What do you got in there?" And I used to tell them everything that was in there, and they wanted to trade with me. I'm like, "Listen, I don't know.
Trades?
You got that peanut butter and jelly. I don't know if that compares to what I have, but I mean, you give me some money now, maybe."
Because
I'll
like
consider
even
it.
You're a hustler at a young age. I didn't know this.
he was hustling with his.
You were such a
cold
cute
cuts.
kid. I can't picture you doing that
It
stuff.
wasn't
But
that
even
bad.
like something simple like Nutella and like white bread, they were like, "Ew, is that like Dookie? And like, you're eating poop."
Yeah, that was
And
the
it's-
worst.
For me, at least, I was like, y'all just mad because I have this delicious stuff that I, mortadella, prosciutto,
yeah.
salami, sopressata,
Can't beat it.
mozzarella, like,
Yeah.
and they were just like, ew, what is
Yeah,
that?
that
It's
was the
like,
same
you're
for me.
missing out.
There's definitely a gap then from us. And
yeah,
him.
it's,
But are you guys crust on or crust off on the like the white bread? Did you tell mom like, oh, I don't remember honestly. I was always crust off.
I
was so picky. I was so picky growing up.
as you can tell, I'm not picky. So I probably ate the crust.
So whatever you had
It
yesterday.
didn't matter. Just
I'll
put
beat
it
you.
in the sandwich.
I'll one up you on that. I actually like the ends of the bread
Really?
the most. Yeah,
Okay.
I like the
Ooh,
crust.
little pan, that's your favorite
yeah,
part.
and if you get that thing toasted, that's perfect.
I used to be so annoying. I used to tell mommy cut it diagonally.
Yeah, I remember one time. Like,
I don't know
she
why I
did
needed it
and, like,
diagonally.
you
but
bugged out.
it
Like,
just
she
tastes
cut it
better.
this way and not that
Now
way.
I wasn't spoiled. I will say this. Mom and dad definitely set us straight whenever we misbehaved. But that's another thing I wanted to get into. One of my fondest memories with you guys. One was playing video games growing up with Mike, being on basketball teams. We never were together just because we're 2 years apart. But we used to play at St. Cecilia's. I would play first because I'm the younger one, and you were like prime time because you guys were older. You guys got like the main hour of the day, and I would just stay after my game and then watch your game. It was such a great thing growing up. And then with Rosario, do you remember that picture in Christmas? We were so young. Rosario wasn't even a year old yet, and we're like, oh wait, let's make it seem like he's walking.
Oh, like he's standing up.
Yeah, so I have to find it. I'll put it in this video. And you're like grabbing him from behind,
the tree to like keep him
yeah,
up.
You're totally not holding him or anything. Do you remember that?
I don't remember
this.
any of this. I don't think I've seen the picture. I need to see it now.
You probably have seen the picture, just didn't know the
Probably a
backstory
while, yeah,
to the
probably.
picture.
You were such a cute kid. I really don't know what happened after like 14. You just
Okay.
it was all
high school changed. It was all downhill.
Let's
after
not get
that.
too deep into it. But yeah, I'll remember you said that. Thank you.
time flies, man. Here we are. Mike's, what are you, 29 now?
29.
29. I'm about to be 27. Rosario's 20.
20.
Just turned 20. It's like, where the hell does the time go? I look back and I'm like, damn, did I not cherish these young years I had? Did I not take them? Maybe I took them for granted. You know, it just flew by. Like, I wish we could just be 9, 10, 11 years old again.
I know now, like looking at the younger cousins, like Rosaria, like the other Rosaria, Mike M. You know, it's just like I remember when I was their age, and it's like, damn, so much time has passed. Like I don't see myself as someone who's nearing his 30s. Like, what?
I know.
Where did the time go?
For your 30th, we got to do something crazy, something bananas. For guys, like the 30th is the biggest thing. For girls, it's like 18, 21.
Well, if you know me, I'm not the one that's very.
We'll make it fun though. We
it
have
fun.
to. There's I don't even know where the hell I begin with you. He's just got a funny personality.
This is just turned into
with
Rosario's
us. He's
roast
like
session.
Rosario, but like in a public setting, he's so shy. It never made sense to me.
Yeah, I always keep to myself. I'm not really.
Why you're somebody full of ideas all the time? I don't understand why you're always so damn quiet.
I don't know. It's just the way I was. I don't like being the center of attention. I hate that.
Yeah, but here you are.
You're here too. And this is Michael.
I know. I was surprised. Like Rosario was like insisting on.
I know.
Doing
I was
one of
like, hey
these,
guys, you want to do a
I thought
podcast? Like maybe like 2 seconds later. Oh my God, yes. I've been waiting for this moment.
I was like,
It's about
maybe
time.
not.
Yeah,
You
no,
can
it's you know, I've done it before for school and stuff like that, and it's fun. But this is different.
Oh
because
really? You
it's-
done podcasting?
Yeah.
Like a radio station or something?
Just one or two with one of the other people I went to school with. Just interviewing.
Send me an episode.
I don't think I want to.
No, one thing I wanted to ask Mike was, you know, our family is so many cousins. What is it like having 4 cousins with your name too? Because obviously Michael and Michele was our Michele's name.
Well, and I think that's what like I thought that was like the coolest thing, because it's like knowing that I'm named after Nonno. It's like we kind of carry, like us Michaels in the family, we carry, you know, that namesake. So for me, it was never anything like I resented or I was like, why the hell can't I be the only Michael in the family?
Yeah.
It does get interesting when we're at a function and you just hear like a Michael being called and all of us like turn around and like, okay, which one is it? Like, that's why even before I said like Mike M, like, you know, Mike Mazza, we know that that's him. You know, I'm Michael L. Then there's, you know, Mike D. And then there's Diana's Mike D. So it's just like we have different ways of distinguishing between
There's so many
Mikes.
Mikey this, Mikey that, Mikey that. And then there's Rosario, and then there's Rocco. But I have Rocco in Italy too, so.
Yeah, I mean, I will say the one thing I didn't like growing up was, you know, in Italian, Michael is Michele. It's spelled similar to Michelle, just with one L.
Michelle
not the two.
Loguercio.
So then you'll
here?
see, like, yeah, Michelle. I mean, they butcher the last name.
What'd you guys hear growing up? How was this? So our last name is pronounced Loguercio. Let's just make that clear real quick. How did you guys hear it in school? Like, what did the teachers say?
Okay, that's interesting. I remember from my graduation, the lady that was reading the names, Loguercio, something like that. That was a first.
The I goes before the C for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why they get
Well,
that.
I guess Rico, they're thinking like, you know.
Yeah, but come on. It's
Yeah, I got a
that.
lot of
read
I got
the
Loguercio.
Logericos. I got a lot of Loguercios. And I'm like,
Yeah, I
now
got
you're
a few
just
of those,
adding
yeah.
letters. Like,
I don't think it's that hard. I mean, I guess the G and the U could be confusing.
I think it's probably
Loguercio,
all the
like,
vowels.
That's what I heard the most. Loguercio.
I wish I heard that.
That's
close.
I just tell people straight up, like, just don't worry about, you know, pronouncing the last name the right way. Just Loguercio is fine. Don't and like
It's
with,
Mike.
yeah, that's it.
Mike.
Because apparently it's a little too difficult for them, but whatever. It is what it is.
All right, I'm gonna put you guys in the hot seat because I feel like I've been talking about our childhood. What was like your fondest memory growing up? Doesn't have to be with us, just like in general. And if you need a second to think.
Damn, that's a good question.
I need some time for that.
I feel like one of my, I'll go first just because I'm yapping away anyways. But it was probably my communion in second grade when I had that pizza party. That some guy came to Long Island.
Oh yeah,
and he brought the
that.
pizza oven, and then we all made pizza and put our own toppings. Like I don't know, were you even born yet? No, you might have not been born yet. But yeah, that was fun because all the cousins were there. We made pizza. We had like a football game where Sabino like scraped his ear after. It was he caught a touchdown and like blasted into the wooden pipe or something like that. But yeah, that was one of the fun moments for me. That like sticks out at least.
Fondest memories. I mean, I think for me, it has to be like whenever we would go to Italy.
Yeah.
And I don't know if like you remember, but like by Nonna Janina's house, that mountain behind, and like when Dad took us to go climbing the mountain, that one year we were like super young. I wouldn't say super young. We were like what, 11 and like 9. I mean, okay, young. And like we got lost on the way in the mountain. And we were like, where are we going? Where are we? But then we ended up getting to the top, and then we saw the town. Like, all right, we know where we are.
Like, where the hell am I? But the good thing is you go up. You keep going up. Eventually, you can see the town. Yeah. So there's no real way of getting lost. You, Reza?
I was going to say something with Italy, but I don't want to copy off Mike. I would definitely say Christmas morning.
In general? Like every Christmas
I believe it was
when you got all the gifts and me and Mike got coal?
I believe it was my 4th Christmas, and I got so excited because like I used to be into cars back then. Had like my little Hot Wheels, and I had like a magazine full of a Corvette.
And your Nerf guns?
No, that was way before that. I just remember just feeling so just happy and excited, and just looking back at that, I just feel thankful for everything I have, because that morning was just so peaceful to me. Just having everyone around, everyone was happy. I can't really put too much detail into it, considering how young I was, but just when I think about things fond memories of when I was younger, that's kind of the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah, very nice, very sweet. And I think that's the perfect segue into the best segment of this podcast, and that is overrated, underrated, or perfectly rated. We're doing things a little differently this time, though. All right? Each of us, obviously, Michael is the oldest. I'm the middle child. Rosario is the youngest. So Michael's going to respond to oldest, no bias. I will respond to middle child, Rosario to youngest, but then we could chip in and we could see what we saw growing up from each. All right? So, as always, oldest first. Mike, overrated, underrated, perfectly rated, being the oldest child.
Being the oldest child is extremely underrated, especially with the younger siblings, I feel. You guys don't realize how much we, as the older child, have to go through. We're like kind of, our parents experiment, like, all right, how do we raise a kid? What do we do? What do we not do? And we kind of see all of that and experience all of that. And it doesn't trickle down, to the younger siblings, where we're the ones who typically have a little bit more of the responsibility. Not always, really depends on the individual.
I honestly thought you were going to say overrated for that. Just because the reason I would say overrated is because everybody thinks being the oldest child, you get like all the benefits. You have the most fun. You're the experiment child. Your parents let you do things, yada yada yada. And then as they go on with the future kids, they know what the hell to do. So meaning you had it the hardest in that sense. So it's overrated being the oldest child because everybody thinks you have it the easiest. That's why I perceive it as overrated.
Okay. I mean, I could see where you're coming from, but just from like a personal standpoint,
yeah, of course. Yeah,
I would say underrated because again, there are a lot of things, and I think we've seen this even amongst ourselves, like, who is the most responsible of the three.
So yeah, what was the greatest benefit of being the oldest, you think?
The greatest benefit? I think the greatest benefit of being the oldest was teaching my younger siblings, the two of you.
How you teach me? Teach me Ugats.
I taught you Ugats.
No, you did every one of my papers. Hey, Mike, do you happen to have paper on American Revolution?
It's like, here you go. Here it is. Just change the name.
Yeah, that's great growing
before all these programs.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I tried teaching you. You just got betuist.
Yeah.
You kind of rock,
I was the same way. Don't worry.
Did you want to chime in, I should say?
Should I give my rating or?
Yeah, no, just right. I'm curious what you think.
I don't know.
Not just me, oldest child in general.
Oldest child, I think I'd say underrated. Because because they're kind of like they paved the way for the younger siblings. They're kind of like the secondary parents, if that makes any sense, where they're the ones that go into hell, head first, and then come out, and then they teach us the ropes with everything that's going on with life. Hopefully, but that's what Michael did with us.
Okay.
Maybe for me, I don't know about you.
Fair point. So 2 underrated, 1 overrated.
I knew you were going to say
definitely not
overrated.
perfectly rated. All right. Next up, we have the middle child. Now, the middle child, I think, again, no bias, but the middle child, I think, is perfectly rated. Right? Your parents have already been through it with the oldest. They let you get away with more than what the oldest got away with, but not too much at the same time. At least not with our parents. I had a lot of fun growing up. For the most part, mom and dad let me do what I wanted to do. Obviously, you didn't have that luxury. You got the blame when I was the one causing trouble. So the oldest child gets the blame.
This is true.
Middle child just, slips under the rug. But as great as it can be, I definitely felt left out a lot of times as the middle child because he was getting all the love as the youngest. You were getting all the responsibility as the oldest, and I was just like there, I felt. So I was
You
just
were
like
the rebellious.
I was just like, oh yeah, don't worry, whatever. It's Rocco. You know what I mean? Like it's
yeah, we know Rocco's here.
yeah,
It's just
look at this
there.
idiot. But yeah, that's my take on middle.
Okay. So let's keep going, and I think you should go first with that.
I was like, let me see what Michael has to say, and then
No, I know what I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna agree with you. I think that being the middle child is something that it's perfectly rated. You're smack in the middle. You don't get sort of the responsibilities that the older child get. You don't get spoiled the way the youngest child gets, but you also kind of get lost in the sauce sometimes. Well, I don't know if that's the right saying, but
I guess
you
I definitely got lost in the
mix.
sauce.
You get lost in the mix because then it comes like oh shit, like I forgot Rocco's there. Like, oh damn,
Yeah.
What about Rocco, or what about the middle child?
Yeah. Like I feel like you guys could have went somewhere. I'm like, oh, where's Rocco? Like,
We could have just left the house and totally
like Home Alone.
Home
What do you
Alone,
mean?
just left him.
what's that?
Start screaming, Rocco.
I have to go with underrated. Right? For
Me, okay.
the exact reason where it's kind of like you don't know, you kind of forget about the middle child, like you said, and I feel like a lot of people do, especially with like celebrities and stuff like that. Like no one, if there's like 3 kids, no one knows the middle one because the oldest and the youngest are always the famous ones. But just going back to our situation, yeah, I feel like Michael definitely got all the responsibility. Me, I got all the attention from mom and dad because I was the youngest. But yeah, for that reason, I think that's why I'd say underrated.
Okay. And last but not least, the youngest child.
Overrated.
Wow.
Let's be real here, because most of the time we tend to be the spoiled ones, the little spoiled brats. We get all the
Yes.
attention.
Yes.
We can never do any wrong.
Yes.
Mom and dad love us to death. And I'm trying to think of other stuff, but I think I nailed everything. Yeah, we're perfect, the young ones. So for that reason, I'm just
Could do
saying
no
overrated.
wrong.
Exactly. And looking back, and I'm like, nah, I did a lot of messed up stuff that I shouldn't have done. And, it wasn't fair to you guys that I got all the attention, even though there was that 7-year split. But, definitely overrated. I don't care if anyone's coming at me for that.
I'm gonna say perfectly rated. I mean, but for the reasons that you said, I don't think it's anything that's overrated. It's hard also because I think it really depends on the age difference between the siblings. Like I know with us, like me and Rocco, that's 2 years, but me and you, that's 9, right? You and Rocco, that's 7 years. That's a significant amount of time. Would things have been different if it was, 2 years and then 2 years? Who knows? But I think just in general, the standing is that the younger child does get sort of the best deal out of the siblings.
I was going to say perfectly rated too for exactly your reasoning, just because we all know the luxuries that the youngest child have, but at the same time, we all know the struggles that the youngest child may have as well. Like just because you're basically spoon fed, you might have difficulties in the real world because you were always just spoon fed the whole time. You know, so there's definitely pros and cons to being the youngest, but obviously that's why I think it's perfectly rated.
Yeah, we're the baby adults, or the youngest adults, if that makes any sense, where we could all be grown up but still not know much in terms of just how the real world functions.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree for sure. So before we end this podcast, Mike, what are you doing right now? What do you got going on with your life?
Right now, I'm just working and focusing on work. I think that's kind of how
It's
I've
been your motto through your whole 20s.
my entire life is just work. I started working at a very young age. I was about 16 when I really like officially started working. Of course, doing the family business, we were a little bit younger, but we don't include that in like the work experience.
It's not on the resume.
That's not on the resume. But right now it's just working and taking things day by day. I used to work 2 full-time jobs. I recently, a little bit about maybe 6 months ago, left one of my jobs. So now I'm just kind of
you gotta go nice
just
and easy.
relaxing.
You're like
chilling.
8 a.m, come home at like midnight, sometimes even past that. This guy's a machine. I don't know why you did that to yourself, but
it's the responsibility.
He's always been like that
when he was younger. That's why the guy's a workaholic. But I think it's weird because the oldest is the one that takes things the most serious. You're like the in between. Me,
clearly it shows. If we dissect this podcast, you'll see we all have that qualities in here. What is that? What are you up to? Let the people know.
Because I'm still young and I'm still in college. I'm really just trying to find who Rosario is, as corny as that sounds. Like, who am I as a person? I'm really trying to just reflect on a lot of stuff I've done in the past and stuff I'm doing now. And I'm really trying to just get into the groove of things because although, I'm still a little young, I need more responsibility in my life, and I need to like just have a firm grasp on everything that's going on, especially with the way that the world's going on.
I mean, I don't pressure yourself either. Like, I don't know if you feel the same way about yourself. Like, I know here I am at 29 and I'm still trying to figure out.
Yeah, it takes a while to figure out. It's not going to happen. You're not going to wake up one day and just say, oh,
yeah. So don't feel like you have to know by next week who you are. I mean, it's a process.
Like if a girl watches this podcast and says, oh my God, Rosario's like my type. Are you going to say, how you doing? Or are you going to be like, I'm focused on myself?
Honestly, I'm just really focused on myself because I feel like in order to have a relationship, you got to be happy with yourself.
I feel like he's like a motivational speaker here.
Yeah, that's very.
I try to be like
a very motivational speaker.
This is like very press media answers.
Yeah, try to find out who you are.
Don't
cut that out.
I mean, listen.
All right, but at least for Mike, all the ladies, how you doing? He's gonna say how you doing back.
But no, exactly. Anyone slide in the DMs.
He found himself
open.
by now.
Yeah. Plug me in this.
No, but guys, it was a pleasure having you guys on. We'll definitely do this again. Till next time, and
thank you for having us. Finally.
Yeah, geez, it took you a little too long for that, but I mean, we're here now. So.
I mean, in his defense, we did kind of pop in and out of others. I think we did the what did we do? Like Family Feud.
Yeah, that was actually that counts.
Yeah, well, no, it doesn't.
This one's a little more formal.
Nah,
the other one's a Family Feud. All right, here's
I was cheating the entire game.
All right, guys. Buonanotte.